Exeter stomping on the bleachers. Low snap. The kick is good. Great move after the catch. First down and more. Now Coleman showing you the speed. Breaks the tackle. Still up the 5 and in for the touchdown. Wow. He's gone. Gould showing you the speed. One man to beat. Yannicko's going to break. He's going. Yannicko inside the 5. Over the pylon. Touchdown. Got a game. Pinkerton. Going to throw on the run. Windham pulls it in with one hand, and now he's in the end zone. Trying to shake off a man at the 15. He's at the 5, and he's into the end zone. Left Hindle, short pass, put big hit here at the line of scrimmage. Gino in motion, snap taken, Heating, going to throw down the seam. He's got Coleman in the end zone. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Nashua. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Nashua South Purple Panthers and the Windham Jaguars. Two teams entering week 2, still in search of their first victory. Some things to build on last week in defeat. In Windham's case, of course, they were on the wrong end of a 28-27 one-point thriller against perennial power Pinkerton. Some encouraging stuff there from a squad that went just 1-8 a year ago. And meanwhile, South, they were beaten somewhat badly on this field a week ago against very tough team Bishop Girton 37-7. However, the passing game got off on the right foot as the quarterback Karsten Lemire, the senior, completed 11 of his first 12 passes. So some things, again, to build on both sides, and both teams we know are going to leave it all out on the field here on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon.
No question, Nick. I have not seen Windham, so I'm going to be really short, other than the fact that if you read the coach's eyes the other night on our Gridiron program on Thursday night, you could clearly see that he is very excited about his football team. And when you talk to other people that have watched them play, there's good reason for just that. Looking forward to be able to get to know this team, because I would expect them, Nick, to be very much involved in the mix, especially with this new 13-team playoff structure. And that's what it's about, playing your best football going into that week. On the south side, 0-2. Probably, in my opinion, the best 0-2 team out there, because they have a quarterback, Nick, that was, I thought, when we saw them against
0-1.
0-1, excuse me, 0-1. I apologize. I'm thinking of Whitacana, excuse me. 0-1. Coming into this game, this is a big game for both of these programs, because if you look at Nashua South, it's going to be what sort of, like Bedford, who came back and beat Salem. Big surprise to me last night. I watched the game this morning. They have to have the same situation Nick South does, and Coach Knight's got to have had a good week practice to beat this team. But they have a quarterback, and they have some weapons out there, and the offensive line showed some promise at different times. It just looks to me like they were a little bit behind in execution. Let's see how far along they can, but I would not count Nashua South out of the mix just yet with just an 0-1 record. This is a big game for them to kind of counter back here. Also a big game for Windham. Windham wins today, Nick. They are relevant, without question.
You mentioned a number of things there, including 20-year head coach Scott Knight. Brought back a lot of veterans, a lot of seniors, a lot of experience, really on both sides of the ball. And on the other side, fourth-year head coach Jack Byrne. You mentioned he seemed excited when we spoke with him earlier in the week. He also inherited a number of returnees on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll step aside here. When we come back, coin toss, national anthem, Steve's Keys, and then the opening kick between the Purple Panthers of Nashua South and the Windham Jaguars. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop. for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. All right, back here live at Stello Stadium. 80 degrees down on the turf field here for week number 2, second weekend of September here in 2022. Nick Anastas, Steve Bills from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. It's Nashua South and Windham, two teams hoping to even things up in the win-loss column and avoid that dreadful 0-2 start. Steve, your keys both ways.
I'm going to be really light on the keys as far as Windham is concerned, Nick. I haven't seen them play, and I've been looking everywhere to try to find it. So, obviously, mistake-free football. Make sure that they adjust on the scheme of running that they do with a kind of like the double. Traditionally, it used to be a double wing format. I think Coach Byrne has changed that up somewhat. But whatever, let's put it this way: whatever they did against Pinkerton, do it here today. I'll start with that. I could probably give you some keys to them in the second half. Get a little view. As far as Nashua South, Purple Panthers, they need Lemire to play a mistake-free game. He needs to make good decisions. They need to get him out of the pocket. He seems to throw the ball exceedingly well and comfortably when he's out of the pocket. He seems like that type of quarterback. The other thing they need to do, the offensive line, has got to make sure that he doesn't take big cuts from this. For what I hear is a very solid defensive line, very aggressive defensive line for the Jaguars. And the last thing is penalty-free. They got into some penalty trouble a little bit last week, but a lot of this really isn't about keys today. It's about keys of what kind of practice they've already had to elevate some of the individual matchups that they lost last week to BG that they need to win today. Don't have a lot early in the season. I really need to see strengths and weaknesses of the team. But to me, this team runs with Lemire and the decisions he makes and how well he carries and leads the offense on the field.
Well, it looks like the coin toss is in the books. And we should see the kick here coming up in a moment. We've got some folks still filling in the stands here. Gorgeous weather, kind of one of those last weekends of summer. Good weather for football, but the fans not quite, or the stands aren't quite as packed as we've seen maybe in the past.
Well, if it's it's not like July, Nick. July was the hottest July I remember in a long time. Maybe because I was out on the elements that month more than anything. But there is a little bit of a breeze starting to come right now. I would expect in the next hour, maybe by halftime, probably things to begin cooling a little bit. The fall in New Hampshire is such a special place. There's hard to imagine a better place to be than New Hampshire in the first couple weeks of October and all of September.
All right, Windham won the toss. They defer to the second half, so the Jaguars will kick right to left here in this first quarter. And we should see the Nashua South offense momentarily. Seamus Ross is the kicker teeing it up here for the Jaguars.
By the way, the band did a terrific job playing the anthem. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring it to you, but they just sounded terrific. What a great job.
Yeah, they always do.
They do.
Purple Panthers doing a good job. And again, some folks starting to arrive here. Not a big student section, but a lot of purple in the stands here at Stello Stadium. All right, we're underway. Kick, spiraling end over end, will be handled inside the 15-yard line. Across the 20 to the 26, fighting for the 30, is Diego Cabrera, the sophomore. He's brought down by Windham gunner Jake Michelik, the sophomore. So here comes Karsten Lemire, senior. A lot of experience at this point. He'll run out of the shotgun set here, and we expect the Purple Panthers to spread it out on the offensive side. Windham, it looks like, is going to break out here with 4 defensive linemen, or is that 3? Yep, they're going to drop one back in coverage. So a 3-man front here against this 4-receiver set. 3 fan out here to the near side, right.
Boy, I'd be running on this.
It's an open box, it looks like. Lemire is going to take the snap here and roll to his right on first down. He's going to throw off the back leg. He's got a completion with room beyond the 40, and the first down marker is the target, Nathan Smith, the senior. That's room there.
That's what I was talking about, Nick. Anytime you move him outside the hash lines or kind of pull him out to it, there's just something about a comfort level that I watched him have in that first game. And he fired a strike to his receiver there. That's a good start for the Purple Panthers.
Gain of 12 on first down, sets up 1st and 10 at their own 44 as they approach midfield. They're going to go, keep it with the quarterback. They fake to the running back, and Lemire able to dive forward, seeking midfield. About a yard shy, his own 49. We'll call it a gain of 5 to set up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, Alden Goss a little frustrated on that one. He had him square, and nice little juke there by Lemire. Did a great job and was able to pick up an extra 3.5 yards on that lunge.
And he's a dual threat, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
This time 2 receivers to each side. Again against a 3-man front on 2nd down and 5. Lemire, long count, takes the snap. Looks to his left, stepping. Now going to tuck, going to throw. Over the middle, it's incomplete. Trying to find Cabrera. Pass a little high. It was well covered.
Yeah, very catchable ball, though. Should be able to pull that in, but it was a little bit high. What I did like there was the decision-making as the pocket began to close in. He stretched it outside again. This is something that I think really favors him with a 3-man front. I'd be exploiting this not only in the running game, Nick.
All right, 3 far side this time. Ball in the middle of the field at the 49 on a 3rd and 5. Lemire going to take his time. Looks over a long time.
Little change
Head coach Scott Knight may have just changed the play. The screen to the flat. Receiver going to come up short. The ball may have come out there.
I think it
Windham
came out.
says they have it. And they do. The Jaguar defense on 3rd down, able to strip it away from Kyle Emmons, sophomore, who really played well last week against Bishop Girton. First time today, he touches the football. He ends up losing it. And the Jaguars are going to take over after the turnover with good field position.
Yeah, it looked to me like Emmons was attempting to work a little bit of that extra effort there, and then all of a sudden he got wrapped around the waist and somebody came in from the side. I couldn't read the number. It looked like number 22. Came in from the side, Nick, and jarred the ball loose.
Yeah, it's Jake Joyce, the senior. His classmate Joe Lisa also in on the play. Could have been either. Either way, the Jaguars have it, and they go to the ground on 1st and 10. It's a plunge up the middle for the fullback, Tiger On, who really spearheaded that comeback attempt last week against Pinkerton.
Yep.
Scored multiple touchdowns. And, of course, he's back after really taking over as the lead ball carrier last year.
Nice job by number 59
on defense. The pistol, they go back to On. He's met at the line of scrimmage and dropped shortly after crossing midfield. That's Cody Good. One of the seniors, Coach Knight, really singled out. We spoke with him about a week and a half ago. Good, longtime member of the program and one of the leaders, unquestioned leaders, really off the field. There he is in the middle of that defense, number 17 in purple. So now a big third down coming for Windham. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in this first quarter. Jags trying to capitalize after causing a fumble a moment ago. They keep it with the quarterback. Sweeney's going to lose his footing. Now they tried to slow roll the senior quarterback, Josh Sweeney, but it looked like the turf monster got him.
Yeah, that was because defensive line was winning the matchups. I've been watching this all game. All series, Nick. The Jaguars' offensive line right now is losing the matchup battle with a one-on-one against the Purple Panthers, Nick. Defensive line doing a great job standing up, getting the low position.
So 4th and 7. Sweeney, it looks like, will pooch punt here after a disappointing 3 and out for Windham. Another long count. Sweeney takes it, swings that right leg. It's a line drive. It's a bounce near the 20. It'll be scooped up by one of the gunners there for the Jaguars, Brian Damaris. All right, drive number 2 for Nashua South. The first ended with a turnover. However, they were able to pick up a first down through the air.
Good defensive work there by the Purple Panthers against that. Kind of looks like Air Force a little bit, Nick, the way they run an offense. A little bit deviated from that, but kind of has some of that same thing. They really circle deep their sweeping running back, and so far, South has done a great job picking it up.
Well, the tailback now is Damian Perez. He scored a touchdown last week. The only touchdown for South. Meanwhile, Carson's. Lemire up across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Spun down again by Joe Lisa.
But doing the right thing there, Nick. You got a 3-man front. Just keep on. If they can block inside, give him a lane. He needs to keep running because they're starting to drop back 8 guys there, Nick. Nobody was even coming forward. He need to take that 4 or 5 yards every single time. Force them to adjust to it.
Well, they may have. They're going to bring a man on the edge here.
There
so
they go.
4 linemen. Meanwhile, Lemire on second down is in trouble and sacked.
And it worked.
Pocket collapsing back at the 13-yard line. I'm going to credit Aiden Goss there. We've said his name already a few times here. 4 minutes in, and now a 3rd and long facing Nashua South.
Yeah, he was mentioned in a lot of literature out there that I read that he was quite a force to be reckoned with. Nice job, and now the adjustment to move to a 4-man defensive front I think is a wise move by Coach Byrne.
All right, 3rd down and 11. Again, 4 receivers. Lemire, 2-step drop, goes over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30-yard line by Matt Damaris, and he's off to the near sideline and inside the 5 before he's finally forced out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So turnover number 2 sets up Windham on the doorstep. 1st and goal from the 3.
Yeah, we talked about this at Keys of the Game, Nick, about this thing kind of rides offensively on a lot of the decision-making that Lemire makes during the game, and that was not a good decision right there. He had tight coverage, and then he had a lot of hang time on that throw, Nick. Plenty of time to defensively steal the ball. I thought he was actually going in, but good effort coming back to try to keep it out and around the 4-yard line. So
good leaping interception by Damaris. The return sets up Windham here just outside the 3-yard line. They're trying to strike first. They're going to blow this dead.
Yeah,
a number of players up front were not on the same page. Let's see what the officials have to say.
But this is not the time to have that happen, Nick. You're on the 4-yard line. You get a 5-yard motion penalty. That puts you back up on the 9. That's a big one there.
First penalty either way. And as you said, that's not going to sit well with 4th-year head coach Jack Byrne.
No.
So it looks like the Jaguars will have to scratch plan A and go to plan B here. There's their offense on the field for the 2nd time following that 3 and out. Meanwhile, the South fans trying to give the defense a boost. Sweeney going to take the snap, fake to Ann, keep it himself to the right, and get tackled near the line of scrimmage, inbounds along the opposite sideline.
That's just terrific work there by Leon Hayden or Leon Hayden. What a terrific job there. He stayed with his blocker. He had separation, and as soon as the Windham quarterback runs out wide, great separation and a good low body tackle there. He did not get much.
Now Sweeney looking over his right shoulder at the sideline.
Yep.
He got on right behind him in the pistol. Man in motion, snap taken. They pitch to him. It's the tight end. He's looking for the pylon. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown. That's
done.
Brandon Beeland. Able to get some speed there, get the edge, and get to the orange for 6. Windham strikes first, 6-0.
It's all on timing and selling as if you're going to run it, and that's exactly what Josh Sweeney did, Nick. He straddled along the line there, faked up, and then just a perfect timed lateral right in the breadbasket, and a good block up front. I don't know who that was, but it was a heck of a block along the along the line there.
Extra point. Lefty kicker. It's up, and it's good. That's Liam Burke. 7-0 Windham. As we approach the midway point here of this first quarter, 2 early turnovers costing the home team.
Be great if we could see that touchdown again, Ben. I don't know if you have that in the arsenal. That was just a great job by Sweeney. Selling the run, faked out like he was going to tuck it, and then he pitched it back just at the perfect time. This is how this offense is supposed to run. And I'd like to give kudos to whoever that was with that up front block. That was a terrific job, shielding him away from the ball carrier. Just a terrific job.
So 5 minutes in, it's 7-0 Windham. And now South trying to answer. You can see a little bit of frustration amongst some of the Purple Panther players. Cody Good trying to fire up some of his teammates here. He knows it's a big time early in the game.
But that was all following a mistake on an interception. So you kind of create that situation in your own zone. One of the keys early in the season is you want to avoid those sort of mistakes. You haven't had nearly as many reps as you'll have mid and end of season, and it's just really important. Unless that receiver is open, tuck it and run, take the sack, whatever it is. But, that'll stock it up as a learning experience for Lemire.
The kick deep. A good one. Fielded at the 3-yard line. This is Keith O'Donnell looking to spin in the lane across the 25. Before he's finally buried at about the 29-yard line. Tackle there for Windham's Hayden Tedesco, the sophomore, but a pretty good return.
Yeah.
Sets up South 1st and 10, just shy of their own 30.
Nice little spin move there, and he's protecting the ball the whole time. So when you see a guy cradling the ball like that, Nick, you know that came from the sidelines. You said, do not fumble this football. We need our offensive group on the field.
A fumble and an interception early.
Yeah, could be worse even. It's 7-0, but could have been even worse because both of them were basically in their own end. One out close to the 50. The other one run all the way back to the 4-yard line.
All right, so Lemire is going to fan out. 3 receivers, an H-back to his right. And again, the tail is Perez. Looks for Perez. He's not there. He tucks, looking to make a man miss on the edge. It won't happen. Finished off by Goss. And again, good help out of the secondary as Jake Joyce arrived at the scene.
All being changed by a 4-man front now, Nick. It's made all the difference in the world now. Nobody there. I didn't see that on the play. He was looking to hand off the ball, so that actually was a broken play.
I thought so.
Which answers the reason why it didn't go anywhere.
2nd down and 10. Nearly 6 minutes in, Lemire gives the sign at the line. Again, a 3-man front for Windham. Lemire with a quick word with his tailback. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws on the run. It's incomplete.
Yep.
In and out of the hands of Antonio Martinez, the senior.
Yeah, Antonio's got to come up with that ball, Nick. If you can touch it with 2 hands, you need to be making that reception, or at least that's got to be your goal and expectation in this situation. We'll see. I mean, Lemire is sailing it a little bit, but that there, Nick, is a catchable ball. It would have been a good one, and it's a hard one to do, but.
Now a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Windham, they brought a lot of fans, and they're all over on that far sideline trying to cheer on the defense. They nearly
think that
See
hit
an
the ground.
interception. That one did hit the turf. Good effort, though, by Brian Damaris, as he saw the other Damaris make the interception earlier.
I don't know what that pass. Yeah, it was just a duck, Nick. He had an open man in that situation. That was just a wounded duck there.
Close to an interception.
Very close to an interception. Nick, so far for the Purple Panthers, it's about execution. It's the execution of these plays not there. The play calling is not bad at all. There's areas in the field that they could connect.
There's a bad snap.
It's just execution.
Lemire. They're going to rule him down just outside the 15-yard line, and that may have actually been fortunate for Nashua South. Had that ball gotten away, the officials, though, blow the whistle.
Couldn't agree more.
And the Jaguars are once again set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I was just talking about poor execution, Nick, and then boom, there it goes again. This is just you can't work the ball out of your own end, and you know this team is better than this. I can tell you they have.
Well, the Jaguars are licking their chops here.
They are
at the midway point first quarter. Looking to add to a 7-0 lead. They go back to on.
Nice run.
Able to truck his way down to the 10-yard line. Real tough guy to bring down.
Speaking of trucks, did we see a truck last night out in Keene?
We did.
Concord ball carrier.
That was Elijah Bahuma, went over 300 yards.
He is something else.
In 3 touchdowns, part of a big blowout win for the Crimson Tide that we covered live here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire.
Check it out on YouTube.
Meanwhile, Windham's got a 2nd and 4. Sweeney going to pitch. Far side. Breland is in for his... No, he stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
About to say his 2nd touchdown, but he steps out of bounds according to the sideline judge, just shy of the 5-yard line.
But again, Nick, look at the great job that Sweeney does. He waits for the approach, and then he pitches it out. Nobody was on the pitch man there, Nick. That's another defensive breakdown there. Somebody has got to be covering the pitch.
Breland just stepped out of bounds. Scored from 8 yards out earlier. Meanwhile, a 3rd and 3 from the 5. Jaguars again go to on the right side, going to twist his way down inside the 5-yard line and pick up a 1st down.
Nick, I don't think I've seen a run to the left yet. Have you?
It's a good point.
Everything has been to the right.
I think you may be right.
They're obviously liking their guard tackle end situation there, Nick.
Well, Julian Filodoro is the right tackle, and he may be the tallest man out there.
Yeah, I would agree. He looks 6'3".
Meanwhile, it's a 4th and 2. They go up the middle, and South is going to get a stop.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I thought he had the 1st down on the 3rd down carry.
He lost 1.5 yards there. I thought he was up inside the 5 on forward progress, but obviously not, Nick. They were right on it, so.
Well, so what down is it now? Because the offense is still out there.
I believe it'd be 3rd.
Okay. My apologies. I'm confused here. 3rd down.
So
from just outside the 5-yard line.
Huge play here.
All right. They put Damaris in motion. They look to pitch to him. Sweeney trying to slip one, but the pursuit is there. And a tackle is made for Nashua South by Connor Como that may have saved a 1st down there. So it's 4th down.
Big decision by Coach Jack Byrne here, what to do. You got to believe he's going to go for it, Nick, just because they've been so successful so far. But they are way over on the right hash mark right now. There's not a lot of room to stretch the field there, Nick.
Yeah, this is 4th and goal from the 3-yard line.
And they haven't really, the one time they ran somewhat left, it didn't go too well. So be interesting in what the call is here.
Sweeney to on. Up the middle. Touchdown, Jaguars.
He's a load.
Tiger on, able to lean his way across the goal line and extend this Windham lead to 13-0.
Yeah, he is a load, Nick. He just literally carried him right through the midsection, just kept on driving those powerful legs and was able to push it into the end zone. So Tiger on earns that one pretty much individually without much help. Didn't need it there.
Again, they'll trot out the lefty Liam Burke on the extra point try. High snap, good hold, kick is up,
nice
and
kick.
Good. And Windham has extended things to 14-0. Again, they take advantage of the short field. following essentially a turnover. I guess not officially, but that bad snap really costing Nashua South. And again, they take it 16 yards on that drive, capped off on a 4th and goal on a 3-yard plunge from Tiger on.
Yeah, I don't believe they've ever been in their own territory, Nick. This whole game has been played in Purple Panther territory, and we talked about playing mistake-free football. That has not been the case so far, and Windham, give them credit. They see the opportunity, they see the light through the door, and they go right through it. And they've done it twice here. They've got themselves a 14-0 lead. South has got to regroup here. And they got to get something going. There's plenty of time in this game to change direction, but starting to work themselves into a hole, they're going to have to change the paradigm.
And I see a couple of seniors down there trying to breathe some life into the home sideline.
Yeah.
That's Jake O'Connor trying to rally his mates. I think somebody's just got to make a play here.
Yeah, the body language
for South.
The body language for South is not good out on the field right now at all.
All right, Cabrera. From the 6-yard line across the 10, dances at the 15, slips and the ball's out. The ball's still loose. Windham, I think, has it. That's going to be turnover number 3 as Nick LaRoche comes up with the football. Cabrera coughed it up around the 20. The ball squirted loose at about the 25 from the pile, and then right in front of LaRoche, who just falls on it for Windham. That's turnover number 3 in this first quarter for Nashua South.
Yep, he's signaled first down now, Nick. It is officially a fumble. Just the wheels falling off here in the just in the first quarter. Yep, ball was out and slipped through. Had an opportunity to recover it and then slipped through again. This is just
seen a couple of guys now slip on the turf.
Yeah.
It looks like.
I don't know if it's the heat. I don't know what it is, but
saw Sweeney earlier. Looked like Cabrera got betrayed there.
Yeah, just nothing going right here for the Purple Panthers here in the first quarter. And the Jaguars are now looking at nothing more than a 26-yard.
Another short field.
Short field, yep.
1st and 10. They're going to run a sweep here with the tight end, trying to find the edge, turns the corner, and is met just outside the 20-yard line, tackled inbounds at about the 21-yard line. First carry for Brian Damaris.
Yeah, body language, a lot of hanging helmets.
Yeah.
Hands on the hips here, Nick.
Inside of 3 minutes, first quarter. Defense trying to...
Got to pull it together here.
Yeah, trying to stand tall and limit the damage. Trailing 14-0 already. Second down. And after that 6-yard pickup, we've got 2nd and 4. Breland in motion. Sweeney keeps it, pitches to Breland, looks for the stick, and it's going to be close. Steps out of bounds, I think shy of the first down marker.
It looks a little shy.
Another 23-yard line, needs to find the 21. So 3rd down and 2, a short gain there of 2. Good job there by South on the contain.
But it contained so far, Nick, today has been a struggle for them. That one they were pretty successful on. I mean, I've seen 1, maybe 2 runs to the left here. It's been all to the right side for the Jaguars.
3rd and 2. On. Near the marker,
it's
looking
close.
to cross. I think he's got it. Yeah, they're going to move it. Again, leaning forward, Steve, after the contact. Built low to the ground. It's really tough to tackle at times last year as a sophomore. I'm sure he's put on some muscle now that he's a junior.
Yep.
And he is a handful, especially in short yardage situations. So 1st and 10. Ball just outside the 15-yard line. 5 down linemen for South, and they'll get a tackle here from Como as he registers his 2nd. Limits Ann to just 2 yards there down at the 14-yard line.
One of the things you saw last night, even on both teams, I'll give both teams credit, but certainly for Concord especially, no catching here. It was all stand up, get down low, coming in, good football position, technical tackling. Right now I'm looking at on the south side, Nick, there's a lot of catching and then pulling down. They're not really engaging at a full level that I I believe that they can if they can put things together here. And
meanwhile, somebody jumped up front for Nashua South. Was he provoked is the question. We saw a false start earlier in this first quarter from Windham. This one, though, looks like it's against the defense. So they'll march it inside the 10-yard line at about the 9. And that'll set up what looks like a 2nd down and 4. Inside of 2 minutes here, and again, Windham looking for a 3-score lead. South Band trying to spark the defense chant. Sweeney ready to go against the 9-man box on. Hit hard by Good at the hole, or in the hole. And then finished off, it looks like, by Colby Van Salette. So
Cody Good deserves a lot of credit right there. That's literally taken on a Mack truck, and he did that, and took one for the team right there because he stopped on pretty much in his tracks. He may have grabbed another quarter, half a yard, but that's the sort of tackling on him they're going to have to do. He stood right up, stayed right in there. He wrapped him, and he kept his legs intact there, and that's just a good piece of tackling on the young fellow there.
30 seconds to go in this first quarter. Sweeney pitches to On. On's got room, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown.
Got to give them credit. They're executing this now on both sides, Nick. They've shown they can execute. So
it's a 6-yard touchdown. And he had a little bit of an alley. A couple of wide receivers downfield able to pave the way. On's got his 2nd score. And you see there, untouched into the end zone for touchdown number 2.
He is really, not only is he compact and really strong, watch him. He's just very, very slick on his feet. He is a good-looking runner. Perfect, Nick, for this sort of offense. Kind of like that a guy with some speed, but he can still bullet through. So when he turns up, he can truck you right in the midsection. And Tiger on showing. And I would argue the Jaguars showing that they are more than willing and capable of taking advantage of mistakes that are and opportunities that are given to them here. They've cashed in 3 times in how many minutes? Basically 11 and a half.
Yep. Just 24 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. 21-0. It's kind of taking the life out of Stello Stadium here. Home fans quiet for the moment. With the home team, 3 turnovers. 3 short fields, 2 of those inside the 20, 1 just outside the 25.
Yep.
And as a result, it's 21-0. Brandon Breland, an 8-yard touchdown put Windham on the board on a 3-yard touchdown and then a 6-yard scamper. All 3 extra point tries were up and good. So here we go. South sees O'Donnell go to the 20 and no further.
Yeah, you
tackled by 3 different Jaguars, maybe shy of the 20. The first to get there, it looked like, was Dylan Roy, the junior.
Kind of slowing down. You got to pick a lane and you got to go full speed through it. And it looks to me, watch it, a little bit of a slowdown here. See, kind of like step. You got to fire through it and pick a lane and go full speed.
7 seconds remaining, so enough time for at least one more play here. Coach Knight in direct communication with senior quarterback Karsten Lemire.
Sort of unexpected. Last night, how fast that Concord was able to pull out ahead of a good keen squad.
Yep.
A squad. Same situation here. Did not expect this, and after a quarter to be 21-0. But that's what mistakes will do.
Yeah.
One of the keys to the game we were talking about.
All right, they're going to bunch trips left, it looks like. Lemire again with the tailback Perez with him in the backfield. They hand off to Emmons. The sophomore is hit at the 20 and falls forward up to about the 21-yard line. Good tackle by Damaris here on the near side, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. A big one for the visiting Windham Jaguars. They take advantage of 3 Purple Panther turnovers and lead Nashua South 21-0 after 12 minutes. Right back to Stello Stadium in just a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Kristen, do you want a cold water?
21-0 after one here in Nashua. Windham taking advantage of 3 Nashua South turnovers through 12 minutes. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you from Nashua. Gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in week number 2. All right, so facing some adversity, the Purple Panthers begin the second quarter in their own end, facing a second down and 9 from their own 21-yard line. They go to the ground. Damian Perez, his first carry, not much. Met and gang tackled 2 yards downfield. Matt Damaris, the first to arrive for Windham. Reminder, we're online on YouTube. FNL NH Media is the name of the channel. Of course, Friday Night Lights on YouTube. FNL NH Media. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals, we appreciate you joining us, carving out some time. We were in Keene last night, conquered a dominating performance, 48-13 to hand the Blackbirds their first loss. You can check out that broadcast in our archive video section. All right, third down, snap. Lemire's going to keep it himself. Got a little bit of room, and then he's going to be wrapped up and dropped shy of the first down marker. Good tackle there by Joyce, who has played well out of the secondary so far in this first half.
I totally agree, Nick. He's played fantastic. Watch his vision. He knows that he is the contained guy. He's got to stay outside, keep that outside shoulder. That's exactly what he does. He never let number 3, Keith O'Donnell, allow to pin him in, and that's good defensive work. That's how you avoid big plays happening against you. Terrific work there.
4th down and 5. Minute gone by, second quarter. Lemire, also the punter, standing back at his own 13-yard line on the near hash. Jaguars with one man back at the 40. Clean kick. Coming up the field is the return man, Roy. And Roy is going to be stopped shy of midfield. That's a good open field tackle.
Yeah, like Diego Cabrera.
Yeah.
Yep, nice work there.
Still, though, pretty good starting field position for Windham, although by today's standards, it's actually the worst starting field position.
The field position has not been an issue for the Jaguars today. And like you said, Nick, you reminded me, 4 of those have been pretty much handed to them right on a platter. But, Windham could sit there and stall themselves with those opportunities they've cashed in.
And we did see
very
the South
effectively.
Defense hold Windham to a 3-and-out on their opening drive.
Yep.
South hoping to do the same thing here. Windham, they want to get back in Purple Panther territory where they've been most of this first half. 2 minutes in, second quarter. It's 21-0 Windham on a 1st and 10. It's a wide run. Damaris, good stiff arm near side. He's got a first down. Spun down just in front of Coach Knight on the home sideline after a 13-yard gain. Good-looking run there for Brian Damaris, the senior.
You were talking, Nick, about we were talking about the Jaguars' offense. Well, we'll watch the play here. This is nice blocking downfield. They had the angles on the look at number 25. Has the angle on the block. Yep, nice work there. I would say offensively, the Jaguars know their assignments. They look kind of mid-season form. It's not a huge playbook, but it's high execution, and that in high school can go a long way.
1st and 10. Sweeney to the air for the first time. A leaping attempt at the 10-yard line just beyond the fingertips of David Crotu, the senior. He's got some good-looking golden cleats down there.
Did you see the bottom of those when he
glittered
dove down?
in the sun while he was midair?
We'll get a good look at these golden cleats shining in the sun here. That's a great effort right there. He believed he could have that ball. Great effort. I also give Coach Byrne and his defensive squad, Nick, very quickly having the insight or the foresight or whatever to be able to look at the 3-man front very quickly, say this isn't working, change it to a 4-man front, and they've done a great job.
Sweeney on the pitch. Machichi gone. It's going to be a 37-yard touchdown. He's rewarded for the good block a moment ago. The senior Jake Machichi into the end zone.
And it's
now 27-0 Jaguars.
Brian Desmarais, what a block, folk. Watch this on the replay, as Nick was talking about. Watch 44 downfield. We missed it there. It was just out of the screen. But let me tell you, number 25 got a heck of a block from Desmarais. Great job. There you see it right there.
Repaid the favor from the previous run.
Yep.
As you highlighted, number 25 with a good block. He gets his first touch here as a result of 37-yard touchdown run.
All cylinders running here for the Jags.
Meanwhile, Liam Burke, perfect 3 for 3, trying to go 4 for 4. The lefty boots it right down the middle.
Yep. This is pretty surprising, Nick, to me. Not that Windham is doing well. I just expected this to be a little bit tighter. So 28-0 here with barely the couple minutes into the second quarter.
Not the start Coach Knight was hoping for.
No, and the execution gap is huge here in this game to the extent that South is really challenged with good execution. Jaguars are hitting all their blocks. They're meeting them downfield. They're getting out and getting the advantage on angles. And this offense is running and seems to be matching up quite well, to say the least.
Well, we know one person who likes it. And that, of course, is Jack Byrne, the fourth-year head coach over on that Windham sideline. Grew up in Tewksbury, played football there and wrestling, I believe, as well.
Tewksbury.
Under legendary head coach Bob Alward.
Oh, yeah. Well, I coached down there. When I coached for years up here in New Hampshire, I'd go against Art Pino, excuse me. And let me tell you, down in Tewksbury, he was a big name in young fellas football, and he was a tough guy to go against. You had to come with your A game.
Meanwhile, up across the 30 on the return to the 32-yard line is where South will begin.
Tewksbury Redmen was the junior high team. I don't know what it is at the high school. I assume it's the same, but the junior high level, they were the Redmen, and they were hitters.
When we talked to Coach Byrne a few days ago, he was,
speaking of feeder programs,
really high on his program overall. Yep. The fact that this is really kind of a continuation of what this group started to build last season. Again, 1-8, not much record-wise, but half of those losses were by one score or less, including against a couple of heavyweights down the stretch. Yep. So they've obviously kept that momentum going. They return a number of starters on both sides of the ball, and they're looking for their first win this afternoon. They've got a 28-0 lead. Meanwhile, good fight here by the sophomore receiver, Kyle Emmons. Had a handful of grabs last week against Bishop Girton. Gets his second catch here and fights his way across the 40 to the 41.
Yeah, intimidation is not in Kyle Emmons' vocabulary. He's going to deliver it before he takes it. And that was a nice job there. Got good quarterback work. Good job looking quick downfield and hitting the out pattern.
On 1st and 10. Not much. First carry for Tanner Pulaski. The junior seeking room on the left side. It just wasn't there. Again, a good job defensively by Windham. They've had one kid, Steve, really over the ball exclusively. Dylan Kim, number 75 in white, eating up a lot of room down there. The junior has held his own.
Yeah, he sure has. He's controlling both gaps as well. Does a good job. Got him to jump. That's
two Jaguars, it looked like, in the neutral zone there. Henry Intoro, the senior, and Liam Shambo, the sophomore, are both guilty.
These are the sort of things that if they're going to get back into the game, they're going to have to accomplish, Nick, against the Windham Jaguars. I believe that's the first mistake that the Jaguars have made in the game. I don't recall any other penalty.
They had one
did they?
False start.
Yeah.
Against the offense back in the first quarter.
That's right, too.
But still, I believe only 2 penalties, 10 penalty yards.
Certainly the first
pretty clean, and obviously they've had the advantage, more importantly, in the turnover department, 3-0. Again, Pulaski, pretty good downhill run, wrapped up again by the safety Joyce, but not before picking up a first down. So South trying to get something going here. Trailing 28-0 over 3 minutes gone by, second quarter. Offense yet to piece together 2 first downs in a row until now.
Looks like somebody's come off the field. 50 injured here, 56.
Yeah, that's
Matthew Harding.
Yeah, one of their
Hope he's okay.
better two-way players, the senior. A little rattled. Yeah. Meanwhile, Lemire misfires. Looking for Emmons underneath.
He threw that, Nick, with such authority. I don't know if these are missed patterns or missed routes or what, but at that time he seemed to throw with such authority. I would guess that was an errant route, but
maybe some miscommunication.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of it. I mean,
meanwhile, they're going to take a look at Harding on the sideline.
Yeah, he came off in a lot of pain.
But the trainer over there is on the end of the bench. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10 from the Jag 47. Lemire going to roll out, going to throw. He's got a man. It's a first down. Catch made by Jake O'Connor, the senior, checking in here.
Yeah, I've been saying all along, Nick, with Lemire, you've got to get him rolling out. He's the most comfortable and the most effective, as I said in the early part of the game when he does that. You're going to see that here. You could just see the comfort level. I think his vision downfield is so much better. There's just some quarterbacks that are like that. Let him do it, if it works.
Athletic enough to throw on the run.
Absolutely, Nick.
You see him release off the back foot there. O'Connor, his first catch. It's 1st and 10. Purple Panthers trying to go deeper into Windham territory here. They've yet to cross the 30 in this game. They won't here as Perez is wrapped up after a short gain shy of the 31.
Yeah, he ran into a wall there.
Goss, another stop.
But they gave him a pretty good forward progress spot, Nick. I thought he got hit about a yard behind the line, but he must have fought for some extra yardage there. But, they gotta keep working Lemire and this receiving crew. Get him outside. He likes to run, Lemire. You can see he doesn't mind tucking it. Get him outside like that on both sides of the ball. Have him look downfield. If it's not there, tuck it and run.
All right, Harding just tried to check back in, Steve. Oh, no, that's not Harding. That's Como.
That's Como, yeah.
And Como is now being told to head to the sideline.
Harding is still on the sidelines as well. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's heat cramps or what, but they're
going to attend to him, and we'll keep an eye on both 58 and 56 in purple. Meanwhile, 2nd and 9. They do roll out Lemire. He does have room, and he's got a first down inside the 25. A little bit of a hole there that kept opening. Lemire hits it hard, picks up 10, and a first down.
Yeah, he's just, if he can be that effective outside of the pocket, don't keep him there.
Good tackle by Mason Ketelar. Junior came over and made the stop. Good pursuit there. Meanwhile, a timeout on the field. It's the first charge timeout either way, and it comes about midway through this second quarter. Our broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. Also by New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Ghost Energy. Ghost is an active lifestyle sports nutrition brand that powers and empowers users to be seen beyond the walls of the gym. Ghost Energy. All right. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's presented by Beals Insurance. 3 turnovers really hurt the home team in that first quarter. Windham took advantage of all 3, and it was 21-0 after 12 minutes. In the second quarter, Jaguars have added another. Lead 28-zip. But this is the best the South offense has looked today. Trying to get inside the red zone for the first time. A short run there on first down from quarterback Karsten Lemire will bring up a 2nd down and 9 from just outside the 21.
Yeah, but the difference between that run there, Nick, is he stayed in the pocket for a second and a half before he ran out. What I'm talking about is getting him outside immediately and have him look downfield.
I'm going to spread it back out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
With 3 on the strong side, 3 receivers right. We get a 4-man front for Windham. Lemire throws over the middle. He's got a man. Good catch by O'Donnell. Keith inside the 10-yard line, tackled by Matt Damaris. He's a little slow to get up for Windham.
34.
Damaris,
nice fake.
I was a little shaken up. He's going to stay on the field.
Yeah, and they're going to run it quick here. I think
everybody up to the line, and that's going to force,
yeah.
I think, Windham, to call their first timeout. It comes midway through this second quarter, so Coach Byrne wants to pump the brakes here and talk about things defensively.
They got you on your back. They got you, kind of running backwards here, and they're running downhill on you. Very, very good call by Coach Byrne. Get his defense, everybody's assignments down, give him a little bit of rest, get him a little bit of water, regroup, and this is a situation where you want to, if they're going to get a touchdown, you really want to make them work for it. And I like the call.
2 timeouts remaining for each team here over the final 5:51. Well, reminder, we'll be on the air on Thursday, Week 3 edition already of FNL Gridiron presented by Beals Insurance. We'll be live from the Beals Insurance studios, and we'll preview our 2 upcoming games, our upcoming Week 3 matchups with players and coaches. And, of course, we'll check in, I believe, with Joe Marshallina for the first time this season of NHHighSchoolSports.com. So, again, we're live Thursday at 6:30. Sorry, 6. Thursday at 6. Every Thursday at 6 o'clock on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. We're on YouTube at FNL NH Media. All right, out of the timeout, South going to spread it out. 1st and goal from just outside the 8-yard line. Bring a man in motion. It's Cabrera near side. They're looking for him. Lemire going to throw over the middle. It's incomplete. Had Cabrera, but misfires. It sails over the head of the receiver, who had a little bit of room just inside the goal line.
Yeah, again, if we see this on replay, you're going to see he's kind of some happy feet back there when he's in the pocket. He's just not comfortable. Watch when he drops back. He's kind of he starts, see, little hesitation. The timing is off, and he sails it.
Going to try again here on 2nd and goal from the 9, and again there's movement up front. That's the sophomore Liam Shambo. And if he's guilty, that's the 2nd time here in this first half he's jumped off sides. And as a result, Coach Byrne is going to take him out of the game.
Now you're down on the 4-yard line. You can change your playbook. It makes it much more difficult for the defense to defend, and opens up the amount of plays that you can run. And
so it's half the distance. So it's on the 9. It's basically at the 4.5 now, just inside the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal.
It's a big point in the game for the South.
Lemire's going to bring Emmons in motion. They sweep to him near side. He's inside the 5.
Wow,
and he's inside the end zone.
What a great effort.
The sophomore carried 2 guys across the goal line with him, including the linebacker Christian Parsons.
Yep.
Big touchdown, gets South on the board, now 28-6. Officially a 5-yard carry. And atoning a little bit for a turnover back in that first quarter. One of 3 South mistakes in the frame. Well, strong run, Kyle Emmons. Looked good last week, as we mentioned as well, and
it wasn't
has
perfect.
A bright future, as we know, as just a sophomore.
Wasn't perfect for Carson Lemire, but it was better, Nick. A little more command there. I think they were
putting flag on the kick.
Oh, boy.
Kick was good, but a couple of flags thrown there. So officials again going to talk about it. Looked like they both came in late. They may pick one up here. That's a false start.
Yep. They need to execute this extra point, Nick. You just can't fall behind when you're down 28-6 with 5:40 left in the first half.
They're going to
What are they going to do?
Kick? Yeah,
they're going to kick.
Maybe they'd throw. Instead, they're going to kick.
Certainly looked like, from what I've seen so far, it's within his range.
This is Liam Gallagher, the sophomore. He's going to boot this, and there's another flag. This one hits the upright. It's no good. But again, there's flags from both the line judge and the back judge. Or I'm sorry, the line judge and the referee. In fact, they were the same two that threw the flag last time. It's the same call. It's a false start here against South.
No good. Yeah.
So Windham's okay with that. They said we don't want it. Extra point try is no good. 28-6 here just inside the midway point second quarter. Well, a promising drive there for Nashua South. Went 70 yards in about 4.5 minutes. Multiple first downs for the first time, and again, a confidence builder, knowing that you can now score.
Yeah, but you really want that extra point, Nick. You want to finish the score and stake your claim that you can do it as well and be able to finish. Although, aside from that, they're on the board. They got the goose egg off. The next score in this game is huge. Don't think anyone would disagree with that. If Windham can score first, then the distance and versus the time left becomes, the percentages go way, way down. But if South can come up with another touchdown maybe and maybe a 2-point conversion and get themselves at 28-14 before the half with a good defensive stop first here against the Jaguars, well, we could be coming into the second half with a little bit different dynamic. But we'll see how it unfolds.
All right, now Windham set to respond here for really the first time in this first half. Still got a big lead on the board at 28-6. First time we've seen Nashua South kick off. Gallagher going to squib it down the middle. Joyce stays away. In the end, it's picked up by Damaris, the senior. Looking for room on the far side. He's got some speed to the 40, at the 45. Shake and bake at midfield before he's cut down in South territory at the Purple Panther 49. Well, looked like confusion out there when that kick initially left the tee, but Damaris not only made it work, but made it work well there on the return for the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
So, again,
more good field position.
It's been a theme in this first half. It'll start in Nashua South territory, 1st and 10 at the 49. 5.5 to go. Another couple of Damarises on the roster. Both have made a difference for the Jaguars in this first half. Matt had a big interception, a big return after the interception, set up a short touchdown back in that first quarter. And, of course, Brian Damaris has handled the football plenty in this first half. So both of those guys contributing. Part of really a core group that, as Coach Byrne mentioned, really started playing together and playing well towards the end of last season.
And let's not lose sight of the execution level of Josh Sweeney's game. I mean, what you want is to be able to plug your quarterback into a system and have him play mistake-free football and do all the things right that you're supposed to do. And I think he's done a superb job so far.
Sweeney will put Damaris in motion. They hand to him. Has some room on the near side. Pretty good cut inside the 45 and wrestled down just shy of the 40.
Yeah, you're not getting the penetration, that aggressive penetrating defense, Nick, by the South right now. They're kind of straddling along the line, waiting to be blocked. See that they're running sideways. You got to, at some point, you just got to come up, and you got to make some things happen when you're down 28-6.
Good tackle by Hayden Leone.
Good tackle, but way downfield.
Yeah. Had to come out of the secondary.
Yeah. Stop straddling the line. Start coming forward.
Inside of 5 minutes, 2nd down and 4. They fake to on. They go over the top, and wide open is Masheet. Inside the 10, another touchdown. A 42-yard hookup. Second score of the day for the senior. And Windham, just like that, retake a 28-point lead.
Well, that's what play action does, Nick. You get to the point where the quarterback gets really comfortable back there. You don't really see a lot of penetration. And, in that situation, somebody's got to pick those receivers up. The safety's got to come over. Cornerback certainly had his man, but was close enough. But safety's got to come over there. But when you run it and run it and run it, you kind of lull them into the run every time, and they read that fake and they freeze. And that's what the double wing is all about.
Meanwhile, Burke having a field day.
Or in this case, single wing.
5 for 5 on the extra point tries. 35-6. Machichi with 2 touchdowns, 37-yard touchdown run earlier in the second quarter. Put the Jags up 28-0 at that point. South with a pretty good-looking drive, capped off by a Kyle Emmons 5-yard touchdown. Put the Purple Panthers on the board, but just a minute or so later, I guess a minute 1 later, Sweeney to Machichi hook up again, and this time it's a 42-yard touchdown throw and catch. So 42-6. Windham, I'm sorry, not 42-6, not yet anyway. 35-6. Got ahead of my skis, as you like to say, Steve. 35-6 is our score.
Did I like the phrase, or I say that you don't get ahead of your skis?
No, I just heard you use it the other night on Gridiron, so it was hanging around in my head, I guess. All right, this one is deep. And here comes O'Donnell.
Oh, what a hit.
And dropped at the 19-yard line. What a stick there. That's Romeo Aiken, the sophomore, checking in a big way here on special teams for Windham.
There'll be some Aiken on that hit for sure. Let me tell you, that is a good stand-up hit. Here we go. Watch this, folks.
Came out of the blue.
Boom. Stood him right
up under his chin before he knew it.
Yep. Good wrap there. Yeah, they came to play, the Jaguars did. You got to give them credit. They are for real, Nick.
And again, last week, a lot of confidence in that loss. I know they were disappointed. They were on the doorstep of perhaps the upset against perennially tough Pinkerton, but 28-27 against the Astros. They trailed 21-0 just before halftime, scored on the last play of the second quarter, and got themselves back in the football game in the second half before a fumble cost them just outside of 2 minutes. And they end up losing to Pinkerton 28-27. But the fact they went toe-to-toe with the Astros, a confidence builder for sure. Meanwhile, Emmons makes a catch in the flat, leans across the 21 for a short gain of 2.
I looked everywhere for that game, Pinkerton, Windham, Nick. I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know who, if anyone, covered it. But I would have liked to have seen it coming into this game. I just couldn't find it. Obviously, we saw South last week and got a good view of them. Definitely saw where they needed to work hard to improve, and they've still got work here to do as far as execution is concerned.
Inside of 4 minutes, 35-6 on a 2nd and 8 from their own 22. Lemire in immediate trouble, throws incomplete. Tracked down by 2 different Jaguars as the senior Henry Natoro and Joe Lisa both in the backfield at the snap of a finger. Now 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, the pocket, I'll just keep reiterating, Nick, the pocket is not working for Lemire today for a variety of reasons, but every time they begin to move him outside immediately, not in the pocket and then have to scramble out, but get him out there on either side of the hash marks quickly, there's something that happens with this team's offense that seems to get a little bit of life. I'd like to see them go back to that. That certainly was a huge part of the success of their last drive.
Drive that went 70 yards downfield, ended in a touchdown. Now South trying to avoid a 3-and-out with inside of 4 minutes. Play action, screen underneath. Pulaski is hit and dropped. Lisa sniffed it out immediately. It goes for only a yard, and now a 4th and long on the way.
Yeah, well, the single and double wings depend on having a solid defense, Nick. It's going to bring you back the ball with plenty of opportunities to take time off. One of the other elements is that the idea of a long offensive time of possession make sure your defense is rested. All of that is working for the Jaguars today, and their defense is highly motivated and showing why they were able to go toe-to-toe with Pinkerton.
4th down and 7 coming up on 3 minutes to go until halftime. Lemire back at the 10-yard line. This time the snap is good. The punt is high. An arcer that's going to come down like a bomb at the 40-yard line. Take a bounce for South and roll dead at about the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. So again, good starting field position for Windham. The defense forces a 3-and-out. The punt may have went higher in the air than it did downfield. Kind of a rainbow effort there from Lemire. No return. But again, a shorter field for Windham, and that's been a common theme for the Jaguar offense in this first half. They started 2 drives back in that first quarter inside the red zone, both following Purple Panther turnovers. South gave it away 3 times in the first quarter if you're just joining us. 1st and 10. They're going to sweep left side. This is Crow-2, the tight end. I believe that's his first carry. Saw Beelan, the other tight end, score earlier. Crow-2. Pretty good run there of 6 yards.
Sure was.
Sets up a 2nd down and 4. Clock continuing to tick. Coming up on 2 minutes here. At halftime, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis. A look at last night, a busy week in week number 2 statewide. Plus some games in progress here on Saturday. So all that coming up at halftime. Damaris on the sweep. Going to tiptoe to the 35, hit the gas at the 30. Foot race at the 20. Dragged down shy of the 10-yard line on a touchdown-saving effort by the sophomore Emmons.
Nice stiff arm there
who
at
may
the
have
end.
Come up a little bit gimpy here. He's trying to walk it off, it looks like, at the 10-yard line. But the sophomore definitely not well here, and the officials are going to stop the clock with 2:11 to go. And we got a timeout, I think.
It'd be great if we get a replay of the downfield blocking. I don't know if Craig was able to get that or John was able to get that on the side there.
Well, either way, it's a timeout for Nashua South, which means they have 1 left. And the coach wants to take his time and make sure his defense is on the right page. Of course, I'm sure in the back of the 20-year head coach's mind, Steve, is the deficit, right? We know the running clock is triggered when it's a 35-point gap, and, of course, Windham threatening to blow it wide open.
Here's
here
a replay
already
here.
Out in front, 35-6.
Look at this downfield blocking. 25 makes a hat hit. 25 again. Look at 81 over there, clearing that. Everybody's doing their job. It's not rocket science. It's high execution, knowing your assignment and completing it after running it over and over and over again. And that's just terrific work that they're accomplishing out there on the field. It looks easy, but it takes a lot of reps. Knowing who to pick up, getting out ahead.
Jaguars have popped off 5 touchdowns in this first half, looking for number 6. 1st and 10 from the 12. Left side, another stretch run for Crow-2. He's got the corner and he's got the end zone. Touchdown. 12-yard touchdown run on the stretch for David Crow-2 on his 2nd carry. 6 more on the board for Windham, now 41-6 with just outside of 2 minutes to go.
Again, surprise last night, Nick, at the score differential, almost at the half. Just as surprised here, Nick. Not that the Jaguars would be ahead, but the 41-6. It's the margin that's really surprising me here. These are, you coming out of this weekend with a great deal of respect for the Windham Jaguars and the Concord Crimson, Nick. Both of these programs that we've seen are
that's no
solid.
Good. That's the first miss of this first half for the lefty kicker, Liam Burke. That one floated left.
Yeah.
And ends up just wide left. So 41-6. And it remains still a 35-point game. I'm not sure if that's a second half rule only, the 35-point
My understanding
deficit.
is it was second half.
Okay.
That's what it was when I coached. I don't know if that's still the case right now, but
we're about to find out.
Yep.
And again, kind of a dejected home sideline. You can see some of those seniors are taking it pretty hard. Jake O'Connor down on one knee here. Tough. They lost last week, of course, against a very good Bishop Girton team. A team that improved to 2-0 with a win over Timberlane last night. But a defeating final score of 37-7, and now it's 41-6 here. Tough for these seniors. Meanwhile, another kick. It's a different kicker. It's Seamus Ross, who has handled the kickoffs, while his counterpart, Liam Burke, has handled the extra points. Meanwhile, good return as Keith O'Donnell goes all the way across the 40 up to the 44-yard line. That, I think, more than anything, is what South needs here. Some players to make a play. And O'Donnell makes a pretty good one there on the return.
Mm-hmm. Nice cut there. Boy, he's got some speed when he opens it up, doesn't he? Oh, that's great slowdown. Nice job, John. Good work.
Tackle made by the kicker, by the way, as Ross wrestled him out of bounds at the sideline. All right, minute 43 remaining. And the South offense back onto the field. Again, they dug their own grave, so to speak, early with the 3 turnovers. Fell down 28-0 early in the second quarter. Did show some promise on a 70-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Kyle Emmons. But they surrendered the ball. Again, Windham makes short work of a short field.
Yeah, Windham winning those defensive trench battles, Nick. It's just big time. I mean, there was just they were standing there waiting for the fullback to come in.
Playing with confidence now. Windham scored the last 2 touchdowns following the South touchdown drive. And they've gotten away with 3 men in the box, 3 men, up front, more often than not in this first half. And again, you got to credit those 3 guys down there in the trench for Windham, including the big nose tackle, Dylan Kim.
Yeah, but for the body of most of the first and half of the second, Nick, they were a 4-man front. The 3-man just came back last set. Get him out of the pocket.
Avoids Natoro and then slides down back around the line of scrimmage, avoiding a big hit that was coming there from Kavi Patel, the junior.
Yep.
So a 2-yard gain, 3rd down and 8. We're inside of a minute here, creeping up on 30 seconds to go until halftime. South still does have 1 timeout in Coach Knight's back pocket.
Yeah, if you've got 3 down linemen, Nick, that are they're bringing the 4th up now.
Yeah, standing on the edge here on the near side is the outside linebacker. All right. Quick throw, incomplete.
Yeah, he stopped running his route, Nick. Whoever that was 85.
Samson.
Yeah,
Cody.
Watch here. If you get it again, you'll see he doesn't run his route. And, Lemaire's, that's a time route on with the inside slant there. And I don't know if we'll see it again or not, but here we go. Watch this. He just stops running.
So 4th down with 18 seconds. South's going to go for it. Lemire's going to throw this one back over to Okote, but it's incomplete.
Well,
sails out of bounds, and now Windham with 11 seconds set to take over at the South 46-yard line. We'll see if Coach Byrne wants to push it here or just take the half.
Yeah, well, he's doing the right thing. The reason he brought the 3-man didn't work in the beginning part of the game, Nick. He went the vast majority of this game. They've been 4-man, playing with a 3-man now and then. But the reason he's going 3-man, why not drop back 8 guys? You got a 41-6 lead. Let them keep it underneath. Give them the 4 or 5 yards, and the 3-man front. To your point, Nick, is even stopping the run. So there's just there's no matchups here for South that are really working for them. Jaguars are dominating all elements of the game. The one time that they were able to, on that 70-yard drive, they being South, were able to get downfield, as I said like 3 times here, is they got Lemire out of the pocket immediately, not sitting in the pocket, then chasing out, kept being chased out. They put him in motion immediately, and some good things were able to happen. So,
all right, we get a kneel down here.
A lot of work to do.
The end of the first half, 41-6. Windham sailing here on the road midway through this Week 2 matchup with Nashua South. Coming up, highlights, analysis, and some stats if we can find it. Plus an out-of-state or out-of-town scoreboard look as we take a look at Week 2 statewide. Coming up in just a few minutes. It's all Windham here. 41-6 at Stellos at halftime. Back in a moment. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Jason, was it you that was saying, talking about how North looks better after Bedford last night? Yep. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You can't beat them the way they did.
I think Bedford was really, after last night, they shut Salem out and stopped. So you have to say,
Defensive linebacker core.
it was like
Now it's halftime here in Nashua. Big lead on the board for Windham, 41-6. The Jaguars leading the Nashua South Purple Panthers. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, and it's presented by Beals Insurance. Windham seemingly came off the bus ready to play. Jaguars forcing 3 turnovers in the first quarter. They capitalized on all 3. 3 touchdowns, 21-0 was the score after 1, and then the floodgates continued to open up. Jake Machete, a 37-yard touchdown run, made it 28-0 just 2 minutes into that second quarter. South did piece together a promising drive of 70 yards. They scored a 5-yard touchdown run from Kyle Edmonds, 28-6 at that point, but just over a minute later, a big Sweeney to Mashish hookup, 35-6. Windham at that point, 5 minutes to go. David Croteau on a 12-yard touchdown run brings us up to date. So 41-6, Windham, who hung around with one of the premier programs in Pinkerton in week number 1 before losing 28-27. Coming in and playing an inspired brand of football for Coach Jack Byrne in that first half.
Nick, a football game is about game plan, and then preparation of that game plan, and then execution on the game day. And what Windham has done has shown me that for 2 weeks straight, they've had a good game plan against, like you say, perennial powerhouse Pinkerton. Now you got a 41-6 here against South. They obviously had excellent preparation during the week. You can't execute on the field like this if you haven't done the right preparation with the right game plan. On the other side of the coin, South looks to me like they really do not have a good game plan. I have to go out and say it, that the pitch man is being it's either that or execution or a combination of both. Preparation, all 3 of those things looks to me like they need more work for South as they look into the rest of this game and on to next week. But Windham and Concord both in those categories have proven to me this weekend that they are worth following every single week to see how they're matching up when they have games against the better teams in this league. And nobody should take them lightly when they're either coming to their town or you're going to Windham or Concord.
Well, we know about the history of the program. First of all, the high school is one of the newer high schools.
Yep.
When you take a look at the big picture.
2005 or 4.
Somewhere in that area.
I think.
Started at the lower divisions, of course, grew to a Division II football power.
Very quickly.
Not too long ago, and not too long of a time. And then they make the jump a few years back to Division I. Of course, took their lumps last year, part of an 8-1 campaign. But in the process, a lot of these returning starters able to carve their teeth, so to speak, baptism by fire, what have you. They were competitive. In fact, 4 of the 8 losses were by 1 score or less. So they've hit the ground running, at least so far this afternoon, 41-6 at the break. And by the way, the Jaguars are set to receive the second half kickoff.
Yeah, mistake-free football versus mistake-ridden football. And especially in that first quarter, Nick, you're not going to face a team like the Windham Jaguars and make as many mistakes as South did in that first. I mean, the field position, I think it was, on the 25-yard line?
Inside the 20 twice, and just outside the 25.
The 25, and then another one inside like the 48, 50-yard line. That's just way too good a field position to give a team like this. If you're going to defend the Windham Jaguars, and you've got to force them to go 3 out, come up and get ahead on that type of offense, so they have to get out of their rhythm. But they've just been able to play offensively within their rhythm, within their game plan to a T since the game started.
All right, some scores from last night, week number 2, statewide. Some games scheduled for this afternoon as well. Merrimack got their first win, a blowout over Alvern, 41-12. Broncos dropped to 0-2. Concord, as we saw here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire in our game of the week, a big win over Keene, 48-12.
Big for that program.
Defending champion Londonderry, they are on the road at Bishop Hendricken, an out-of-state opponent. That game is underway. Central is 0-2 after a 48-14 loss right here at Stello Stadium against Nashua North. The Titans are now 2-0. Pinkerton, 2-0 as well, 59-6 over Goffstown in Derry They'll take on Alvern in Hudson in week number 3. Bedford, big second half, 17-0 Bulldogs. They shut out Salem. Blue Devils drop to 1-1. Bedford improves to 1-1. Some of the games on the Seacoast in Division 1. Hang on one second here. Dover, 2-0. An out-of-state win over Sanford up in Maine, 37-23. That follows a 14-0 season opening win over Winnicott. Exeter, number 2 in the Union Leader Power Poll. They're taking on Champlain Valley Union today in Exeter. That's an out-of-state opponent from Vermont. Memorial, they had the week off. And we'll look for their first win.
So they chose not to go.
Correct. They'll take on Dover in Manchester in week 3.
Yeah,
is their next game.
I like that because they need more preparation time. They've got a program that's getting numbers now, Nick. I'll wait till you get dumps. I apologize.
No, you're right on that.
Yeah, it's just I think that's a good move by the coaches. You have to continue to groom these guys in practice and really get ready to play at a high level the next game. But what's going on over Memorial last year had some mishaps. Year before they hung around. They had a playoff game. And Memorial is materializing. And, geez, I wish them the best as they move forward. It's just great to have Memorial's program with those kind of numbers.
Portsmouth, their first win, 25-0 over Winnicott. Second straight shutout loss for the Warriors. Spalding, they beat Edward Little 30-6. Red Raiders now are 2-0. Timberlane, good effort. Closed the gap last night at home against Bishop Girton, but couldn't catch the Cardinals. 23-20 is the final score, despite 2 late touchdowns by the Owls. And let's see, finally, I think that's all the D1 scores. It is. We do have some games in progress. I mentioned earlier Exeter taking on the Vermont opponent, Champaign Valley Union.
How's that going?
35-14 Blue Hawks.
Wow.
That game is about to start the fourth quarter. And Londonderry trailing Bishop Hendricken 33-20 midway through the fourth quarter. All right, just about set to start here in Nashua. The second half looming again. Windham won the toss, deferred to the second half.
You know, Nick, you were talking about Portsmouth and Winnicott. I don't know. What does that mean? Does that mean that Winnicott is struggling at this point that badly? Or does it mean what my thoughts were is that Portsmouth, absolutely well-coached program, straight up, they got tell you what he thinks on his mind, coach, type of coach that I'd like to play for. I got to believe that Portsmouth it's mostly because Portsmouth. I just think you're going to see. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do in week 3 and 4. Do you have the schedule in front of you? What they have there, Nick, by any chance?
I'll pull it up in just a second.
Sure.
We're going to get the kick going here. There's also a couple of Division 2 scores trickling in. How about Bow on top of Plymouth, 28-12?
Wow.
Midway through the third. This kick is high, end over end. It gets behind one of the Windham upmen before it's dived upon and secured by Cam Williams, the sophomore. May have misjudged that one. Tough to judge it. It was end over end, kind of high. And ultimately it is, though, tracked down by Windham. They'll have their worst starting field position of the afternoon, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Also, Hollis Brookline trailing Hillsborough Deering 13-7. End of the third quarter there.
What was the Souhegan score last night, Nick?
We'll get that in just a second here.
Is Ben sending you all these scores? Or are you pulling them off the NHL?
It's a combination of the two.
Oh.
Here's a run up the middle. Tiger on. 2 touchdowns in that first quarter, the junior.
He's already doing 5 things at once back at the studio up back there. He's getting scores, too.
Working over at the 20-yard line.
I think his brother's sneaking those in from D.C., Nick. I think he's doing research. Kind of going as a tandem there.
What were you looking for, Souhegan?
Yeah, I was looking for the Souhegan score last night. They were ahead, doing pretty well.
Yeah, they were pounding Milford, right?
Coach Barquette comes back to his hometown and
yeah, it's not on the website.
Not on the website.
But they did have a big lead.
They did.
Early in that game. I admit I did not see the final. Meanwhile, another good stop there. Kobe Van Salette, one of the seniors that Coach Knight went out of his way to praise when we spoke to him.
Yep.
Still playing hard here no matter what the score. That, I think, is what coaches are looking for. Meanwhile, Sweeney avoids the big hit, throws up a jump ball. It's tipped and picked. Off the interception, Perez. Tackled just over midfield. That's the first Windham turnover as Coach Byrne dials up the deep ball.
Don't know why you do that with a 41-6 lead. Yeah, and you're playing away. You're not even playing home. Not quite sure why you would throw that ball deep into double coverage like that in that situation. You're just breathing life into a program. But, you know, with that kind of lead, maybe they just want to test some things. I don't know. But it is a substantial lead. But,
well,
South
makes a play. Good piece of concentration off the tip by Damian Perez, the senior.
Yeah.
Who's also the tailback, one of them.
I would agree.
On the interception. 1st and 10, South. Going to throw it on the run. It's incomplete. That's a live ball. It's going to roll near sideline. Windham trying to get to it.
Saying it's out of bounds.
Officials say it's already
I think
out of bounds. Good effort, though, by Dylan Roy, who went head first into the south sideline.
Yeah, I'm right on top of it, Nick. I don't think that was a backward pass. I think that was a forward pass.
Well, it's going to be a loss of about 5.
Yeah, they're going to take it where it
went out of bounds, so it's at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, here we go, right here. You're going to see it. It did not look to me like it was a backward pass.
They lose 6 yards in the process.
No, I think that was about a half a yard forward, but he didn't sell it too well. So,
meanwhile, we do have a running clock here with a 35-point gap already over 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Lemire on a 2nd down and 16 officially. Going to move Perez to his right side, take the snap against a 3-man rush. He's got time. Throws down the middle, broken up by Joyce. Incomplete. Trying to find Emmons, but well covered again by the senior safety.
Yeah, but still a little bit, everything is out, kind of just on the edge of being out of reach or possibly a catchable ball. They're not firing here with a great deal of execution, high execution. Look at that. Little bit overthrown there. They got work to do. He's a talented quarterback with a lot of potential.
Senior ready to go here. Tells his teammates at the line the play. And again, it looks like we'll face a 3-man front here on 3rd and 16. Fakes the handoff, going to roll, head downfield. Short pass complete to Williams. Tackled, though, near the line of scrimmage. Another good read by Kavi Patel, the junior, starting to make some plays. He had a nice tackle there. It's 4th down after a gain of 2, 4th and 14.
We're thinking the same thing, Nick. But everybody is doing a good read with the defensive unit here. This defensive unit is impressing me a great deal. They're not overpowering. They're just a bunch of good athletes that know their assignments and execute almost to perfection.
5 minutes in, third quarter. Lemire's punt is a good one. Nobody back for Windham. It's going to take a south bounce inside the 5 before it's down at about the 4-yard line.
Well done.
Good piece of special teams work there for the Purple Panthers.
Yep. Coaches here with South on the sideline letting these young men know this game is got to be played right through the end of it. I liked some of the attitudes that I'm seeing here. Just keeping the guys engaged. Understand that this is 2 of 6 regular season games, and it's about getting better every single week. And you like to see that where the coaches don't give up, so the kids don't give up. So let's see what they can put together here.
2 of 9, of course, regular season games. Not 6.
Well, yeah, I'm not counting the out. Okay, all right. I guess a lot of it's your position. Yeah, I'm talking about in-state.
In-state, it'd still be 8. Meanwhile, here's the stop at the line, and a good one again for Van Salette, starting to piece together a pretty good performance defensively here for South.
I'm not against it, Nick, in any way, but I don't really.
What, the out-of-state?
Yeah, whatever. It's
not a big fan?
I wouldn't do it, but I'm not against it. It's just.
You'd rather have the week off.
I'd rather either.
That's the option this year.
No, I get it. there's not much they could do. And you know what? It's a creative thought, and it may work out to be, you may start having some really good rivalries that are built. And if that's the case, it just takes a few years to build that. That's all. So I don't really care one way or the other, to be honest with you.
Good run for Sweeney. Going to pick up 6, set up a 3rd down and 4. A little more breathing room here as he works his way out to the 10-yard line already midway through this 3rd quarter.
But I do like 9 games, absolutely, during the season. And I think that I think that I think that they did what they had to do to get the teams in Division I that belong there and the ones that don't out. So, that's the main thing, and they did that.
Meanwhile, Emmons limping his way to the sideline for Nashua South. He's been a key player this afternoon. Meanwhile, Damaris, another carry.
Good defense.
Senior going to lumber his way out of bounds near side. Going to end up short again.
Yep, good defense there.
South holds him. It looks like 4th down and a long 1, maybe 1.5 here. Inside of 5 minutes, 3rd quarter. Well, Windham. Hard to tell what they're going to do with that pooch punt as an option. By the way, Steve, Souhegan, they ended up rolling 40-14 over Milford last night in Division II. Sabres are 2-0. South's going to go for it. Has room. He's got the 1st down. On 4th and 1, they go to the trusted junior tailback who scored 2 touchdowns back in that 1st quarter and has looked just as good as advertised here this afternoon overall.
I would agree. He meets the expectation you're looking for at the position in this style offense. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but I'll tell you, he's hard to bring down. I think his intelligence of which hold and follows his blockers well. He has a lot of things that he does very, very well. Last night we saw some breakaway speed as well as power. Arn is going to fit into this scheme very, very well, as you can see it here. He gets them the tough yardage when they need it. And I think Sweeney has commanded this offense with precision, Nick. I think he does a great job.
Good,
yeah,
for sure.
And he knows what his mission is in the field. He doesn't try to create his own rules. He follows the direction of his coaches in the program and executes to a high level. I have to say I can see why Coach Byrne had a big smile on his face when we interviewed him last week. He's got a nice group of guys here that are putting together a body of work that's showing that they're certainly relevant for sure. Right now, they're proving that they're in the relevant tier.
All right, so a timeout by Windham. Stop the clock inside of 4 minutes remaining. And they're ready to go on a 1st and 10. New quarterback in the football game. It's Billy DiPietro, the junior.
Great idea, getting him some reps.
So it looks like Sweeney's afternoon is over. Also a new ball carrier, Hayden Tedesco, sophomore, his 1st carry. Brian Damaris heading to the visitor sideline. He may be done as well.
Yeah, I think he is.
So we're inside of 4 minutes now, 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 5. Going to keep it with the quarterback, but he's going to run out of room. In fact, goes the wrong way.
Got to blow that whistle, Dan. Maybe
Antonio Martinez right in his face.
Yeah, he's
sending a message defensively. It's a loss of 3 in the end. 3rd down and 3rd and 8 here coming up from just inside the 23-yard line. Well, if Sweeney's day is done, 1 touchdown pass, 1 interception, but to your point, really ran that option game to perfection.
Yeah, he really did. And the what quarter was the interception?
It was earlier in this 3rd quarter.
Earlier the 3rd, right. So
meanwhile, here on 3rd and 8, they stay on the ground and aren't going to get much. Holes slaps shut. Another tackle for Vancelette. And it looks like 4th and 5.
Showed as well that when they do the play action that he can get the ball and deliver downfield. That was an awful nice play down on our right side here. Good timing, good call. And not much more you can really ask out of the young man, really. He's solid. But to get the backup quarterback in at this point, get him some reps, is really, really important.
And they may have to see a punt here as well from DiPietro. Here it is. It's up in the air. It's going to come near sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds. South will take that. Their best starting field position of the day. It's at the Jaguar 44-yard line as we move inside of 2 minutes to go third quarter.
Antonio Martinez
going hard for sure.
Going hard for sure. He's going to get his licks in. He's pretty frustrated about the way things went today, and the
senior's held his own. Did have a drop pass on offense earlier, but defensively he's been around the ball.
He sure has.
For sure. All right, South trying to get their second score of the day. They're going to get Lemire here in the pistol again. Touchdown will slow down this clock, which is already ticking down to a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a three-man front. They fake the run. They keep it with Lemire. He's going to swoop his way to the right side and get tackled about 2 yards downfield. Mason Kettlear starting to pile up some tackles in his own right, the junior. Another good form tackle there. It's a 3-yard gain for Lemire, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, fundamentally very sound.
Final minute now, third quarter. Lemire trying to speed up the tempo a little bit. South has played fast for the most part this afternoon.
I think that plays to his strengths.
Lemire rolls left, throws off the back foot. Catch made by Cabrera. Cabrera trying to find some more room in the middle of the field. He's got the first down, stopped shy of the 30-yard line.
This is his comfort zone, Nick, getting him outside the pocket immediately. He just likes being outside. You can tell his vision level goes up to a great degree. Watch how comfortable he is. Watch this. You're going to see it here on replay. Immediately, no waiting, he delivers a strike, opens up some field space, gets the encroaching linebackers out of his face.
Final play, third quarter. Lemire on a quarterback run, going to shift his way down inside the 25, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. Running clock here in the second half. Same score we saw at halftime, 41-6 Windham. Fourth quarter on the other side. The Jags looking to close this out and earn their first victory of the season. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Start of the fourth quarter here at Stello Stadium. It's been all Windham. Jaguars with a 41-6 lead. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Glad you could join us for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Jaguars started fast in this one. They forced 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and they capitalized with 3 touchdowns. 21-zip after one, extended that lead to 28-0 early in the second half before South got on the board. Kyle Emmons representing the lone Purple Panther score. And then the last 2 touchdowns before halftime also belong to the Jaguar offense. It's been 41-6 since halftime as we begin this fourth quarter. We have a running clock here because of the 35-point deficit. And now it looks like a third down and about 2 facing the Purple Panthers as they look to get back in the red zone.
Boy, that was when the clock runs, it's a quick quarter, isn't it?
Yeah, it stopped briefly for the Purple Panther timeout. Other than that, it's been running nonstop since we kicked off the third quarter.
Yeah, number 66, Dane.
That's Greco.
Greco has no interest in a running clock at this point. He's still playing full tilt, full time.
Yeah. Still some starters mixed in down there with the Jaguars.
Quite a few, actually.
Although we are starting to see some of the backups.
Every play, yep.
Meanwhile, 4th down and 3 for Lemire, minute in fourth quarter. Martinez behind him in the pistol. He's going to throw quickly over the middle. It's caught by O'Donnell. Slips 2 defenders and ends up inside the 10-yard line. It's O'Connor, the senior, And I believe that's his second catch of the afternoon. He's limping a little bit, however, as he heads back to the near sideline.
Yeah, he's having trouble putting weight on it.
Yeah, he's going to go right to his back and get stretched out here.
Yeah, it looks like a cramp then.
Meanwhile,
heat and hydration.
First and goal. It's hot down there in the field. It's over 80 degrees here in the second weekend of September. They go to the sophomore Emmons. He's cut down on a decleating hit at about the 5-yard line. I think that's Liam Shambo, the sophomore.
It was.
Called him out for a couple of offsides penalties, lining up or jumping into the neutral zone earlier. I think that hit goes a long way towards atonement there.
Yeah.
As he may have saved the touchdown. 2 minutes now gone by, fourth quarter. South trying to stop this running clock with a score. It'll be second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Lemire ready to roll. Emmons to his right in the backfield. 4 receivers. Snap. Design run. Shake and bake left side. Lemire looks for the end zone. Touchdown. Officially a 5-yard touchdown run for Karsten Lemire. Well deserved. Quarterback has fought hard this afternoon. He finds pay dirt. And he stops the clock 2.5 minutes into this fourth quarter. It's now 41-12.
Yeah, already down to 9:30 here. Good hard run by Carson. Made a nice little juke there and good leg drive into the end zone.
Liam Gallagher on for the extra point. It's a high snap.
But he got
pretty good hold.
Yeah.
Kick is good. Yeah, the hold may have bailed him out there. Andrew McKay, senior, showing the good hands. Able to field that high snap and get the hold down in time. So Gallagher's kick makes it 41-13, and that gives the band something to cheer about here off to our left.
Yeah, much nicer sound there for the home crowd, but they need something here to be able to go in and, after this game, Nick, and start looking at next week and get all cylinders running, hopefully, as they're away next week, right? I believe.
Pull up the schedule here and take a look for both teams. South will take on Merrimack. Up the road a bit at Merrimack.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Friday night, 6:30. Well, Gallagher ready to go here. Windham is at Londonderry. That's a 7 o'clock start Friday night. So big games for both teams here.
Yep.
In week number 3. Meanwhile, this one goes off the knee of the returnee into the end zone. It's a touchback. Tyler Ohanian trying to pull that in over the shoulder and ended up bouncing off his knee into the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
You can see
it is still a running clock, by the way.
It is, yeah.
I thought it would stop once it went under 35, but not the case.
No, I believe once it starts,
3 minutes gone. Once it starts, it goes.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Okay.
If you break that margin, their attitude is...
I try to have it both ways when I can.
Well, yeah.
But I kind of like it. It seems like it's out of reach for South here. Still down 28. Meanwhile, Windham trying to work the ground game. You can hear the cheers coming from that visitor sideline as some of the reserves get a moment in the sun, so to speak. Hayden Tedesco, his second carry is a good one. In the end, goes for 8 yards, a second down and 2. I know both coaches are still watching this game intently, right, for probably different reasons.
Yeah, I think, I think both coaches are, I think what Coach Knight is trying to do is trying to get some flow and some rhythm and some chemistry built between these between his receiving core and his
DiPietro's pitch.
Yeah.
Taken by Chris Brearley, another sophomore checking into this one, his first carry, and He's going to carry about half the defense with him up across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, what was a little surprising, Nick, was that the pitch man was getting a lot of yardage in the first half. And if you're going to overcompensate, you want that running back to be turning upfield and running, not the pitch man getting in the outside. So if you're going to lose yardage, you'd rather lose it in towards the hash marks and less of it, and force the quarterback to take some hits. But you never want to lose to the pitch man.
Meanwhile, wild snap. DiPietro able to recover at the 20-yard line. And now it's going to be 3rd and a mile here, with 5 minutes now off this fourth quarter clock. Well, it's kind of to be expected, right? The ups and downs. Some of these guys are playing varsity football actually in the game for the first time when you account for all the sophomores down there for Windham.
Oh, without a question.
You get a couple of good runs and then kind of a wild snap. This one was high as well. It was contained by DiPietro. A good pitch. Tumbling uphill there is Dylan Roy, trying to work the sidelines up to the 30. And Roy a little slow to get up after taking that hit. Roy in some pain on the far sideline. Windham,
I'm seeing
athletic trainer is going to take a look.
I'm seeing Nick close to 60, counting the guys on the field, about 61, 62 players on Windham, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think did Coach Burns say he had a pretty good freshman and sophomore size classes coming up? So
I think really the future is definitely bright for Windham. We know about the seniors, this group that got a lot of experience on the field last year, part of a 1-8 team. They took their lumps, so to speak. This is a well-deserved win for them.
Yep.
We know about them, but to your point, there's some key pieces in the classes coming up, including the tailback Tiger Ian, who has played well, 2 touchdowns in that first quarter. But overall, the numbers, as you highlighted, pretty healthy for Windham. Meanwhile, the game stopped here just about midway through this fourth quarter as they continue to look at Dylan Roy on that far sideline. They've got him back on his feet. And the Jaguar fans, who always travel well, are heard from on that far sideline.
Yeah, there's quite a few over there. They lucked out. The visitor side has got some highly
support for sure.
Well, they got some shade too. I mean,
right.
It's probably 10, 15 degrees cooler over there.
Yeah.
The
a
home
hot
side,
day, especially in the sun down on the turf.
I can tell you when it's cold out, it can get pretty cold and damp over there in the late fall.
Meanwhile, DiPietro, play action. Goes deep down the middle. He's got a catch on the sideline, rather. A leaping grab by Jake Michalik.
I thought it might be intercepted.
A big gain there, nearly 30 yards on the pickup. Well, a well-timed leap on the catch.
Sure was.
And a pretty good ball thrown by DiPietro. So a big gainer brings us past the 6-minute mark here, fourth quarter.
High humidity.
Yeah.
You can see the haze.
Not a lot of breeze either. No. DiPietro pulls it back out and then explodes for the first down. Excellent ball fake. Had it look like halfway into the fullback's belly, pulled it out, fooled the defense, and picked up about 14 yards on the run.
Yeah, nice cut up field. Accelerated through the traffic very, very well. And a touchdown saving tackle. I couldn't see who that was that tackled him, but on the other side of the field, but looks like that may have saved another touchdown.
Maybe the junior Mario Razzaboni, the safety. High snap. DiPietro handles it, trying to find room to his right. Going to be dropped for a loss. Good tackle in the backfield. Nathan Case, sophomore, hoping to catch Coach Knight's attention. That's an excellent stop, about 3, maybe 4 yards in the backfield as we move inside of 5 minutes, fourth quarter. Well, another reminder, we're on the air. Full recap of Week 2, preview of Week 3. Coming up Thursday night, FNL Gridiron, presented by Beals Insurance. We're live 6 Eastern. Joe Marshallena, NH High School Sports, should join us. We'll release our broadcast schedule, talk to those 4 head coaches involved Steve back in studio after a week down in Florida.
I really was looking
Or are you
forward.
going back to Florida?
I was really looking forward to talking and getting some questions into Lynn Patnode and Jim Corcoran. Unfortunately, they were both on audio, so I was cut out of that. But fortunately, Nick, you asked a number of them that I wanted to ask as well. So
that was on last week's episode. You can check that out, of course.
I have a lot of respect for both
on
of
our
those guys.
YouTube channel.
I just think they're
two good coaches.
Two good coaches.
Go head-to-head last night. Conker got the better of it. Meanwhile, another stop. Good defensive play again for Razzaboni, who comes up out of the secondary to make the stick near the line of scrimmage. Inside of 4 minutes now, and a 4th and long, a 4th and 14 from the 19-yard line.
You could see the calmness on the sideline and the determination that Coach Patnode has, Nick. He knows he's got a junior class there of guys that are going to be coming up, and then an underbelly program that's working in through the system. A lot of excitement over there in Keene as they work towards the end of this year to continue to move forward. And rough night for him last, but boy, has he got some film to teach with, and that he will do, and he and the staff will do.
All right, here's Liam Burke going to attempt a field goal of 36 yards. The left-footed kicker is good. Sneaks into that lower left corner. Just inside of 3 minutes,
Nice
Windham's
kick.
going to tack on 3 more of their first points since halftime.
Nice kick.
It's 44-13, and that clock continuing to roll inside of 3 minutes. Pretty good day for the kicker, Liam Burke. Went 5 for 5 before he missed his first extra point try.
Yep.
And then atones there with that long 36-yard field goal.
It's been a while since I've seen a left-handed kicker. I think it's been, 2 years ago, probably.
They're rare. But Burke, a pretty good one, lefty or righty.
Yeah, very consistent. He's always splitting the uprights. And a couple, high snaps that the holder did a great job of bringing down and putting it in position for the kick.
Clock momentarily stopped, 2:44 to go.
I thought it was going to be cooling down a little bit by, 4 o'clock, but it doesn't really feel that much different than it was an hour ago.
No, there's really
Or two,
been,
for that matter,
a rather inconsistent light breeze. Other than that, it's been kind of humid and stuffy and certainly hot down there on the field and up here in the stands at Stello Stadium. Reminder after the game, full recap, another scoreboard look as we put the finishing touches on this one coming up after the game. 44-13, the kick is short. It'll take a bounce in front of the back man at the 22-yard line before it's scooped up on the bounce. Not a whole lot of room there for Alvin Pascal Rosario, the senior, on the return. And a couple of stops there by the Jaguars, including Ben Toysnot, the sophomore. Final 2 minutes here.
Tiger on when it really mattered here in the first half was impressive, Nick. The force in which he went through the line. He reads holes very well. I thought he did a very nice job today.
Yeah, he's a good player for sure. Meanwhile, South looking down the field for Cabrera. And it's incomplete as the sophomore took his eye off it.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball. I don't think there was any defender within 10 yards of him when the ball
he may have
reached
scored
its
there.
peak. He might have scored, yeah. If he had any kind of speed, he probably would have. Sure like to have that back.
That'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 29. Final 90 seconds here. Some folks starting to file out. Lemire, meanwhile, is ready to go. On 2nd and 10, it's a quarterback sweep. Good tackle.
Nice
Wrapped
job
up around the waist. That's Romeo Aiken.
Yep.
Sophomore fires up his teammates on the sideline.
That's not the first hit that he's delivered
Right.
this game.
Had a big one on special teams earlier.
Sure did.
Limits Lemire to just 2 yards on the scramble. And as we enter now the final minute, South facing a 3rd down and 8 from their own 31.
Speaking of Joe Marshallina, there he is on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah. He's a staple here at Stello Stadium. We'll talk to him on Thursday night. Of course, Joe, the founder of NHHighSchoolSports.com. Meanwhile, Emmons fighting for extra yardage. The ball ends up coming loose. And I think Windham's got it.
Yep.
Ryan Dougherty, the junior, able to get to it.
I don't think
Boy,
they're
you
going to
feel
get a
for
playoff.
Emmons. That's the second lost fumble for the sophomore, but trying to do the right thing by fighting for that extra yardage. However, he got stood up and somebody
Jarred it loose.
and that is going to do it for us here this afternoon. Windham coming in and flexing their muscles here at Stello Stadium. 44-13 is going to be the final score. They build up the big lead before halftime, 41-6 at the break. They surrender a touchdown, but they add a 36-yard field goal late in that fourth quarter and end up cruising to their first victory of the season. Again, in big fashion, 44-13, our final.
Yeah, this game was heavily tilted, Nick, in the first 7 or 8 minutes of the game. It was just mistake after mistake and a very hungry Jaguar team that was just cashing in on every one of those, one after the other. Yeah. And it really never South really never had a shot after that. They got too deep in the hole and with too many mistakes. But, this is a season that, although it's not long, there is time that you can progress in the week, and they need to take this film and get to work and just to continue to try to become a better football team.
All right. When we come back, full recap, highlights, analysis, stats, and a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in week number 2. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. All right, back here after a big Windham win. 44-13 is the final. Jaguars get their first win of the season, improve to 1-1. South, unfortunately, 0-2. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Windham, they forced 3 different South turnovers in that first quarter. They capitalized with touchdowns on all 3, build up a 21-point lead. After the first quarter, they extend that to 28-0 on a long touchdown. And then South able to piece together a 70-yard drive about midway through that second quarter to get on the board. However, just a minute later, Windham answers with another long hookup. So in the end, 41-6, Jaguars with a 35-point lead at halftime. That triggered a running clock. We had a scoreless third quarter. South got another touchdown on a run from quarterback Karsten Lemire, the senior, who did play well at times today for South, but too little, too late. Another Jaguar field goal on the final drive makes it 44-13. The final, and a big win for Coach Burns' group, Steve, after coming away disappointed with the 1-point loss a week ago at Pinkerton.
Yeah, I'm sure he was disappointed, Nick, but he also recognized he just played toe-to-toe with a very good football team. And that's why he was looking forward to this week. You could see he was confident. I have no doubt by Thursday night that he was aware that he had a good week of practice going behind him and his team was ready. They certainly executed to a very high level in the field. I thought Sweeney did a great job. I thought the calls from the upstairs were excellent. The overall management of the game plan and then, of course, the execution by the players was fantastic. Congratulations to them. They are, if they're not a contender right now, they're certainly very relevant. Another game or two is going to prove that. And they're certainly off to a good start with doing very well against the Windham team. On the other side with South, a little bit different ball game here. They've lost by large margins by 2 teams, 2 very good teams, and that's important to note. They got some work to do to dig out of this. I think there's a lot of areas on both sides of the ball and special teams, all 3 phases of the game, that they need to work and bring those and get better. This is not going to probably change overnight, but it's something that Coach Knight can work on every single week. And when you get live film against good football programs, it exposes your weaknesses. Well, that's tough. It's tough walking off the field tonight. You can see a lot of guys upset about the way the game went today, and that they wouldn't be athletes if they and competitors if they weren't. Right. However, there's a lot of stuff that you can go in a film room. I would take a day or 2 and just talk about the mistakes and the weaknesses of what you can, the things that are breaking down, and then get out in the play. Look at this as a 2-week project. It's a shame they don't have a bye this week, because if they could have 2 weeks to just continuously just work on the last 2 weeks of film, I think they could improve quite a bit. I think when you got a quarterback, and you got a quarterback with the skills that he's got, I believe that there's a pretty good amount of room that they can grow here. We'll see what they can do, but you got to come out of this weekend, Nick, with our 2 games in closing, talking about Concord and Windham. They are for real.
Last night, big win for the Crimson Tide, 48-13 the final over Keene. And, of course, this one very similar, 44-13 in favor of Windham. All right, reminder, we're back on the air Thursday night, getting you set for week number 3 in the NHIAA schedule with our FNL Gridiron Show. Steve and I will be back in studios in the Beals Insurance studios in Bedford. And Joe Marshallina of NH High School Sports should be one of the guests, one of the 5, as we release our schedule later on this week. I want to thank Lisa Gingras and her staff here at Nashua South, making it easy for us. We appreciate working with her and her staff every time we come here to Stello Stadium, another smooth operation this afternoon. Big thanks to our crew, including the 3 behind
weathering the heat.
Yep. Absolutely. Braving the elements, Craig Incardoni and John Barron. Of course, Kristen Beals as well up here in the booth handling camera A. Ben Beals, our director, the man behind the curtain, always flawless. My partner, Steve Beals. Another good job, my friend. My name, Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Windham in a blowout, 44, Nashua South 13. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.